Yes, yes, we all know it, we all love it, but the question is, can you play it in tune? I'm Rebecca, and I'm here on the channel teaching myself how to play the violin again after walking away from music years ago. Today, I'm going to talk about the three big things you can do to prepare to play Mozart in tune: scales, finger exercises, and Kreutzer etudes. Now, what's interesting here is that when I was in my teens, my teachers would assign me to play all these things, but they would never tell me why. Now that I'm restoring my playing skills, it's all starting to make sense. So let's start with scales. Now, I think of scales as being like learning a dialect in a language, a way of speaking. When you practice a scale in the key of your piece, you're imprinting that dialect into your playing pattern. Here's the Carl Flesch scale book. This is a standard book with a ton of methods that can help you learn to play in tune. So let's play a little bit of the G major scale. That's the key that Mozart's Third Violin Concerto is written in. Question: when you play the arpeggios, are you testing them across strings? Are you testing them on two fingers? Because if you do, you're learning how to measure across strings, not just up and down the string, and it gives you one more reference point for getting it right. One other thing, it's also okay to stop and go through these things slowly. It's not like some passage that you have to master by going over and over and over. The point of this is not to prepare a piece and get it perfect for your teacher. The point is to prepare you and to teach yourself where that finger strike should go and to learn how to do it without even thinking. The other thing you want to do with your scales is really learn those upper registers. You know, the thing with Mozart is it's not like the 19th century where they write all this stuff way up in the stratosphere just because they can. Mozart is starting to move a little past third position and into some of the higher positions. Not a lot, but it's very exposed and you really have to know how to play this. So one of the places you can learn to imprint where these little tiny steps are, because they get smaller the higher you go up the string, is here in your scale book. And one of the best things I'm doing, because frankly the upper registers are a real weakness of mine, it was one of the last things I learned, it's one of the last things to come back, is those little tiny half steps, the chromatics. So let me show you a little bit about what I'm talking about. And I'm playing these a lot just because I want to learn where these notes are up here again. So as you can see, I need a lot of practice with that. And the advantage here is it's sort of a low-risk way to sort of get your hands on this and learn where the bow needs to be so it doesn't sound horrible the higher you go up on the string. So I'll try some more of that. Okay, so you've run through some scales. Now you really want to get your fingers going, like get super warmed up. You know, playing Mozart requires a lot of finger strength, and the best way to get it is the Schradieck book. Oh yes. Passages in Mozart come so fast that it's really hard to work around your weaknesses, so you can't avoid them. You can't say, I'm not going to play this finger. When I first played Schradieck years ago, it seemed like a real chore and like the most boring thing I could possibly do. But now, when I really want to play, I found that an exercise that really prepares me to get to work, and that's the exercises on 4 strings. It's on page 9 of most books. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Now, keep in mind, the minute you feel good about how well you're doing playing these things, grab your metronome and crank it up and go faster and faster, and you will never outgrow these exercises, never. The last type of exercise I recommend for preparing to play Mozart is Etudes by Kreutzer. Now, here's my Kreutzer book. As you can see, it's pretty well used. Now, Kreutzer was a contemporary of Mozart's. He was a little bit younger, but he was absolutely running in the same circles and playing the same venues. Kreutzer was considered one of the greatest violinists of his time. Beethoven even dedicated a sonata to him. But, you know, centuries later, he's best known for this. He's best known for his book of etudes. And it's easy to argue that the etudes carry a key to playing Mozart. Mozart's music, when it comes down to it, consists of a series of highly repetitive patterns that change in unexpected ways. Once you see that about Mozart, you see that that's what you have to learn how to do. And that's what Kreutzer does here with his etudes. The other thing I like playing about Kreutzers, they're melodic. They're like playing little performance pieces. But, you know, the upside to that is because they're only etudes, you never have the performance anxiety, so you kind of feel free to play them. So let me play a little bit for you. How about that? It's great, it's fun to play, it makes you better, right? Now, I can't promise that if you try this regimen, you play Mozart perfectly. Mozart is tricky, but if you give it a try, chances are you'll get a whole lot closer. So thanks for dropping in, and I will see you again soon with more on Mozart.